Remember these days, my friend. Remember where you were. Remember how this evolved. Remember how the world changed. Remember 2024. This is going to be one for the record books. This is going to be one that for the rest of your life, you will be referring, you will be talking about to people, and you are seeing so many things happen right now that you are missing because there's just too much going by. You're in a car traveling at high speed and you're trying to sightsee, and it's a blur. You see one side after another. What was that? What was that? What's happening? What is this? Who's what? Is he in? Is he out? Kamala who? Newsom, this, that, Whitmer. What's going on? Where do I go? What do I see? What's going on? How is this? It is one of the most fascinating stories, bar none. And America will never be the same after this. This is something that it takes certain things to change everything. The Beatles changed everything. Who knew? The Beatles changed everything. There are things, there are events that happen that forever, permanently change, permanently redirect everything. And I've never, ever truly appreciated in my wildest of imagination how horrible cable news is until now. It is simian, stupid. It is like some circus act. It has nothing to do with the truth. No analysis, no nothing. Each group pretending to be your friend to get to the bottom of this. Both sides. And today, the 4th of July, and we say, of course, to you, Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, because get ready, America. Trump 2024 is here, and you're never going to know independence like this. And part of what we do today as American citizens is to perpetuate this myth that we're independent, that we're powerful, and we're great, and we're glorious, and we're free. Lee Greenwood has been in the news lately. Lee Greenwood is talking about how everybody loves his song, I'm proud to be an American. Oh, they love Lee Greenwood. I'm proud to be an American. Well, I'm proud to be an American citizen, but I'm not free. Stop saying this. Ask President Trump, were you free to run an election when you had the entire Department of Justice at you, every level of law enforcement after you to try and create crimes that never occurred? Mr. President, are you free? No, you're not. This is nonsense. Are you free to say what you want? No. During COVID, were you free? No. Were you free to say what you want? No. Were you free to advance different therapeutic regimens and the like? No. Were you free to disagree with the government? No. It was called fake news, hateful news, trusting the science. You did not. This is the biggest joke anybody has ever said. We're free. We can do whatever we want. Independence Day. Yay. Dun, 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 dun. Look, I'm not going anywhere. You're probably not going anywhere. And to all of our friends and families who live in this country, we're not going anywhere. We were here. This is ours. I don't know who these clowns are. But stop telling me how free I am. I'm not free, because unless we completely destroy politically this system, this group, unless and until we completely dismantle these people, we will never be free. Stop telling me how free we are. Stop this. It is a joke. It is a joke. It is this. And it is contaminated, specifically starting with this deep state, police state, intel state, big tech state, neo-fascist, shadow government that is running everything. And they put on these passion plays. They put on these ceremonies. We have ceremonial news with the ceremonial morning show and the ceremonial couch. And we have a ceremonial meeting in the White House. And these governors are meeting. And we're behind you, Joe. Do you believe that? Do you believe anybody's behind Joe? What are you doing? No, nobody's behind Joe. Joe is brain dead. Stop with this. Stop. What are you talking about? They lie to you. They don't care. You mean nothing to them. We mean nothing to them. There's 124 days until the election. And I try to watch. I swear to you, if I get through 30 seconds of that morning Fox News, I can't take. I swear to you, I just hear, and I say I got to turn this off. It's so stupid. And the people they prop up for reasons that are obvious because they're making a statement. That's not the Fox News we used to know. I don't know what they're talking about. It's just it's kindergarten. It's titular. It's surface level. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remember, this is America. We run the show, not these people. Not these people. And this is not being a Democrat or a Republican. This is about getting our country back, making America great again, whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line is simply this. We have no choice here. Donald Trump is it. He's the only choice. That's it. There's nobody else. And you could talk all day long about whether Kamala would be good, or they're going to put in back. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they put in Mr. Rogers, who's not with us anymore, or anybody else. They could put in a mannequin. It doesn't matter. Stop wasting my time with these stupid little scenarios about how Kathy Hochul from New York and Gretchen Whitmer and all these people, Joe, we've got your back. They all showed up at the White House. Do you think they told him anything? No, it's a joke. Do you think there was any meeting of the mind? Do you think anybody even said, Mr. President, I think, these governors, you should listen to them. This brain dead cadaver never called them after the election. He should have been doing it. Lyndon Johnson would have been on that phone. And all of the surrogates, the machines would have been, I'm going to give you time with the president. He's going to call you. These people are real. They're real stuck up, and they have to be reminded how great they are. The president didn't call you? No, he didn't. He didn't call you? No. After that disaster, I've got to talk to my constituents. He's out of it. So let's just look at me. Let's all repeat after me and listen to old Uncle Lenny on Independence Day. God bless you. We have to realize that we recognize the fact that this president is gone. Now, I don't know what it is. It's you want to what? Do you want to diagnose it? Is that important to you? Is that important? Do you need a diagnosis? Do you need a diagnosis? Do you need an autopsy? He's dead. Let's assume somebody's dead. You want an autopsy? Okay, he stopped breathing. Yeah, but cause of death? He stopped breathing. Okay, but does it matter? Well, it may matter if you want to charge somebody with murder, but it's moot. You want to talk about this? He's old. Okay, he's old. Dementia. He's got dementia. Senescence, Parkinson, Lewy body syndrome. What do you want me to give you? A name? Who cares? Stop. I don't care what it is. I don't need to. I am not a medical doctor. I know nothing about really. I mean, I know a little bit about gestation and birth and everything, but I can point out a woman who's pregnant. Not always, but especially in advance, 8, 9 months, I can say she's pregnant. She's not fat. She's pregnant. Are you a doctor? No. A lot of things we know. When I see a building do this, I know what that means. I understand things. You don't have to be a structural engineer. I understand when I see a guy in a car go back like this. You don't have to be an expert in Newtonian physics. I understand. Stop treating me like a child. They're treating us like children. Stop treating us like children. Stop it. Let me say this again to Fox News or CNN. I don't know who's watching you. I don't know who even needs you. You have been saying everything possible. This is what they do, figuratively. They have a hat. And in the hat, they have cards. And one card says, Biden's in, Biden's out. Kamala's in, Kamala's out. Gretchen Whitmer's in, Gretchen Whitmer's out. The governors met, they're happy, they're sad. They take every permutation, left or right, in or out, running, not running, and they put them into a bag, hat, they shake it, and they go, okay, you're going to do this. Kirsten, whatever, with the eyebrow, that mean-looking one, here's you take this one. And what's your name? It doesn't matter. Take this one, you take this one, you take this one. Fox News, you take this one. Lawrence, Michigan, take this one, you take this. Okay, now, when it comes time, you're going to read your card, whether you believe it or not, because we're going to cover every permutation there is. He's in, he's out. He's staying, he's going. You got it? You got it. It's important. It's important. Make sure you just make sure. Hello. Make sure you understand what's going on. Just say these things. Good. Because you don't know what's happening. They don't know what's happening. We don't know anything. You don't know anything. Nobody does. There will never be accountability. There will never be somebody who says, listen, in 2017, June of 2017, I believe, listen, just to give you a heads up, Joe's out of his mind. What do you mean? Well, he's talking about corn pop, and we've always worried about the fact that his aneurysm, remember in the 80s we had that subarachnoid aneurysm. This is serious business. And they really cut open the head. And I don't know what's going to happen. But it's not like brain surgery today. George Lenz says, there is a plethora of independent news to embrace. Indeed. But not only independent news, and with all due respect, George, there's this wonderful new excitement to independent news. Okay, time out. Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson announces he's going to speak to Zelensky. What's your take on that? You think Zelensky did this on his own? No. You think Zelensky cleared this with everybody else? Of course. If indeed this is true, I'm assuming it's true. He says it's true. Let's assume, arguendo, that it's true. Let's just, for whatever it's worth, let's just assume. By the way, Craig West, new member. Thank you, Craig. Welcome aboard, Tiger. Okay? Do you believe Zelensky is going to speak without getting clearance? Of course not. Raul says, to the Lionel's Conspiratorium, happy 4th of July. Indeed. And by the way, Raul, how many countries have a 4th of July? Of course, this is the oldest joke. All of them, but you tell people this and they'll go crazy. And then you pretend like they didn't answer the question. Anyway, I do this all the time. Now, let me go through this. Do you believe Tucker Carlson is going to talk to Zelensky? Do you think Zelensky is going to say, listen, I'm going to go on Tucker Carlson. I'm going to wear my green shirt. And you can't tell me nothing. Really? Yes, I'm going to tell everything. Really? Yes. Okay. Do you think Tucker Carlson has carte blanche? Do you think Tucker Carlson, born in the bosom, in the cavern, in the pocket of D.C., he wanted to go into the CIA. His father has been with the Nixon. Do you think, and I love the guy, do you think for 1 minute, this is on the up and up, do you think Tucker Carlson is going to get anything out of that? Do you think listen to me, do you think Tucker Carlson is going to get any dirt that is going to hurt? Let me get this right. NATO, we're talking about moving troops into Finland. Do you think he would do anything to hurt Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State, the billions of dollars in military-industrial complex money? Do you think that? Do you think Tucker? I love the guy. God bless him. And if I see one more time where he's screaming at some Australian news reporter that we never see, do I think it's a plant? Could be. I don't know. It's all a work. Everything's a work. Everything's professional wrestling. But if you think Tucker's going to say, if he on his podcast is going to say anything, or that somebody doesn't have full run, like, you're not going to publish that. Let me say this again to you, because this is important. They think we're stupid. Tucker Carlson thinks that you believe that what he does, he's on his own, and that he could unearth, he could unravel, he could expose one of the biggest frauds of all time. Zelensky's getting paid, where he's going to make his money, where his villas are. Is it in Miami or Cyprus or the Emirates? How much is he pocketed? But do you think that? Do you think that? No. So while we love independent stuff, please don't believe this stuff. Please don't understand. Nobody, this guy ain't gonna get close to this. Sparky says, ladies and gentlemen, make Ukraine Russia again. Well, that may be the case. There was a story of Candace Owens. Candace Owens is now breaking apart from the crew, and she wants to, and I was just reading about it. Oh, she's actually thinking about trying to expose and get to the bottom of a certain event that we don't talk about that happened 23 years ago in the 9th month of the year. She actually wants you to believe, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, because, I saw this film one time. You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. She's doing it. He's doing it. Everybody's trying to sow their oats. Let me explain something to you, and listen to me. As much as I love independent, raw, citizen, civilian stuff, if you think either of these two either is going to unearth, unravel, or expose something of that nature, there's no hope for you. I know you're smarter than that. It's great that they're even talking about it. The very fact that Candace Owens is talking about it, that's terrific. Now, there has been some incredible movement regarding what's happened in Israel. Now, let me explain something. And before I forget, Sparky's here. Sparky says, don't even leave a patch called Ukraine, lest it remain a NATO playground. Carpetbagger is money laundering and becomes a BlackRock property. Wow, dude, that is not Doog at all, and I appreciate that. Now, let me just explain this again. The closest person who ever got to the truth, the closest person who I mean was all on it, the closest person was Alex Jones. Look what happened in that one. Nobody wants to be the next one. Nobody. You understand what's happening? Nobody. Let me say this again. And the same goes for what's happening right now regarding Biden. They're not saying anything. I want you to understand something. They're not saying anything. They're not telling you anything. They're doing one of these. Remember the old days when they would do these, like John L. Sullivan, where they wouldn't hit anybody? Mike Tyson goes like this, boom, he hits you. In the old days, they would do this. I was like, would you hit somebody? No, we do this a lot. Why you? I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. What? That was the way they did it. The old days. That's what news is today. Fox News, well, we're going to get to the bottom of it. You're not going to get to the bottom of anything, because you are an apparatchik for the same shadow government that runs the whole show. And you are owned. And you're not going to do anything to ever, because they threatened you. They shut down Alex. They shut down you. They shut down everybody with lawfare. You're scared out of your mind with Dominion. Newsmax is begging for more money, not to reinvest, but to pay off the stuff, because they dared have people say things which was their opinion. They're claiming whatever. So just remember, we'll get close to it. I love independent journalism, but don't think for a moment they're going to get anywhere near it. They'll let you tease it. Go ahead, Candace. Pretend you're going to talk. You're not going to go anywhere near that. No. All the information is out there. She's just getting away from Ben Shapiro, and she says, I'm going to show you people who you're messing around with. And she's very good and very smart. And when it comes to certain things, she's very good. When it comes to cultural issues, when she comes to, the time she went to the BLM president's home and gave him that wonderful, wonderful. Short of that, that ain't going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. Glenn Beck, nothing. Patrick Bendit, nothing. Tucker, nothing. And Lex Friedman, I want you to listen to me. You don't know me. I've heard some of the most incredible stuff I've ever heard in my life. Particle physics, mearsheimer, you talk to everyone. Ivanka Trump? Where'd that come from? Was it Jared? Who paid you for that? Who did this? I understand she shows up in Daily Mail every now and then. Whenever you see that, Ivanka Trump rocking the white payment, they do it all the time. Daily Mail, you want me to do it? I will do it. Bethany Frankel rocking the whatever it is. They can do me. I could, if I pay them enough, I could say that I'm the sexiest man who's ever lived, and I'm rocking it. And I can walk around with, they'll do Daily Mail, anything you want. Meghan Markle, anything you want, name it. I can understand that. But Lex, you had Ivanka Trump, not even Jared. Jared may make, okay, I don't know, listen to him, but Ivanka? Dear God, you have no idea how that hurt me. That broke my heart. At two, Lexo. Sparky says he's on fire. Says, make Israel Syria again. In those Ottoman Empire days, Levant Jews got along fine with their neighbors, whether Muslim, Christian, or otherwise. Sparky, let me tell you something right now, my friend. And I think you know this. What is happening in Israel? I have been following the guy who is the number one, bar none, number one, the most dangerous man on the internets today is Max Blumenthal. Hands down, number one. What he just says in passing with his is just, oh my. I don't want to be one of the people that says, be careful, Max, watch your backs. But I got to tell you something. This man, you cannot, what he is saying, and Judge Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Mearsheimer, that is the most, that is Alex Jones quality stuff on steroids. Here's the catch. You ready for this? America doesn't care. Israel, whatever. You know, I think October 7th was a lie hop. Let it happen on purpose. Whatever. We don't care about it. We're talking about this. Let's talk about Biden. Okay. So just remember that. You're missing something. This stuff is unbelievable. And don't forget, you probably don't know this too. When Alex was Alex, when he first started off unfettered after 9/11, oh my God. It was the Wild West. That was a long time ago. That was 23 years ago. And a lot of these folks who are running around, bless their heart, were just in grade school. So they don't remember the tenor of that. Sparky says, every time someone says that Israel is our only friend in the Middle East, I can't help but think before Israel, we had no enemies in the Middle East. This is according to U.S. missionary, John Sheehan. Oh, let me tell you something. Sparko, touche, my friend. Sparky says, Hunter and Kushner 24. I'm going to have them call you. Fun fact, in 1492, the Ottoman Empire sent ships to rescue Jews from the Spanish Inquisition. Incredible. Thank you. You are a veritable suppository of information, and I mean that sincerely. Fun fact for you, Sparkle. Here's one for you. In fact, I heard about this one. There is a group of folks. This is not American. You're not going to hear this on fun. Nobody, Americans don't care about this stuff. They don't care about any of this stuff. It's the most incredible news, though. Blinken's grandfather, Antony Blinken's grandfather, I believe, was saved, according to, I think, Mr. Blumenthal, was saved by Russians during World War II. And now he is basically funding, fueling, and encouraging a group of people that used to be called National Socialists, but have a word or a name that people on these algorithm-crazed platforms don't like. And it starts with the word neo. We are funding. And General Petraeus, sellout like you can't believe. He's a good general, but he can be bought, and he was bought. It's the most unbelievable thing anybody's ever seen. But here's the thing. In America, no, nothing. Now, today's the big vote in the UK. Nigel Farage, please. Everything starts. There's a movement that is happening, and it's Trump. It's happening in France. They are having these incredible organized riots, these deliberate riots in France, protesting against the, quote, right wing. John McGuire couldn't get higher, says, odd question. Do you fold your pocket money? I just saw a video of Trump talking about Harris, and he was paying for something, and he doesn't fold his pocket money. Is that a thing? I do not know that, sir. I do not know. John McGuire, thank you so much. Did you know, John, that there is supposedly a video going around of Trump playing golf where he's talking about Biden? And they say this is a hidden, surreptitious video. Do you believe it is? Do you believe it is? See, when you meet me, when you know me, when we get to know each other more, this is how it works. It's a very simple thing. You've got to be able to tell me specifically, you've got to be able to tell me why I should believe you. It's not that I don't believe you. It's not that I'm suspicious by nature, but especially if you're in the news, I look at your news as you want me to think this. Consequently, you've got to explain to me why I should. Raul says, thanks to the Ottomans, America was born. It's a fascinating story, is it not? And who are these Ottomans? Who are these? Who are these folks? They, of course, I call them a hassock, which most people don't know. Sparko says, true that geopolitics is meaningless to the American people. Too bad it profoundly affects them domestically. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Sparky, how this is what happens when you systematically destroy education system, when you dumb down a culture. We can't get any more dumb than this. We are profoundly, and by the way, dumb and ignorant are two different things, as you well know, but we are profoundly ignorant, profoundly. Now let's go through this one again, and I'm going to try this. And I saw this again. I can't listen to this. Rule number 1, Uncle Lenny's talking to you. Rule number 1, believe nothing. This is a suggestion of what it is they want you to believe. Timothy 1, bless your heart. Thank you. This is what they want you to believe. Not the truth. This is what they want you to believe. Okay? This is what they want you to believe. Number 2, what is cable news? What do they want you to do? Ratings. Now, technically speaking, on cable news, they've already made their money. They've already made their money for the carriage fees and all of that. But they want your eyes and they want things to go viral. Vaughn says, still here, Nick, but thanks for blocking me, twink. Okay. I'm going to party with you, Vaughn. I really do. Howie Brown says your tweet from AP headline: Biden is sharp and focused, but sometimes focused and forgetful. This is a tweet which I hope you follow me. This is Orwellian, absolutely Orwellian. The tweet, which is an actual AP headline, it says as follows: Biden at 81 colon, sharp and focused, but sometimes confused and forgetful. Let me ask you something. Are you ever confused? No. Maybe that first moment when maybe you might fall asleep for a moment. Maybe you're in a nap. Maybe you wake up and you kind of say, "What's it? How's it going?" And boom, gone. You're ready. You were in a dream. You were going from sleep to reality. Okay? It's kind of like, you got it? Okay, good. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Now, number one, is Biden going to be the nominee? That's the question. How does one apply critical thinking? Very simple. Question number one: can he make it 124 days? We're not talking afterwards. Can he make it 124 days? Make it. I mean, just make it. Live. You know what I mean? Not that I don't think he's facing any kind of lethal situation, but can he live and exist in some reasonably cogent form? That's number one. Number two, and this is critical: do they want him? Can he beat Trump? Number three, what about the money? Who gets the money? In our Ottoman lore section, the Ottomans were a tribe from a particular region in Asia Minor who ended up dominating it, bringing up Turkey and the Ottoman Empire. Let me tell you something about Sparky. You will learn so much. You will learn something, and when they're like my favorite Sparky moment, because he's been a member of the family for years, was when he talked about I think it was your grandfather. It was the most incredible story in the world. It was just like a history of your grandfather. It was wonderful. So please learn from him, be inspired by him. Go and learn about the Ottomans. Learn about Ataturk. Just understand reality and how it plays today. Judas Gold Barbecue says, how could President Biden have claimed jet lag if he had been at Camp David for a week? Try 12 days. That's precisely right. You know why? They're lying to you. So, question number one. Can Biden do it? No. No. If I'm in the White House, excuse me, hold it. Kathy Hoke, thank you. Governors, yeah. He can't make it to, he can't do it. In 2000, Mel Carnahan, we're running for Senate, Missouri Senate. He died, and his name, they couldn't get him off of the ticket. He was running against John Ashcroft. His wife, Jean, I think, ran. His wife, Jean, won. John Ashcroft lost to a dead person. Let me say that again. I don't think you heard that. John Ashcroft lost to a dead person. Our good friend Christian Jana says, have any early voters cast their votes for Biden? I wouldn't know. I'm sure they would. And by the way, Christian, what they're going to be doing now is they're going to be saying, let's move this forward. Let's spike the ball. Let's put our thumb on the scale. Let's move Biden in. Let's hurry this. Let's make this early. Let's bring. They're just absolutely breathtaking. And they're cheating. Let's move this here. Why? Because of the money. Okay. So on number one, is he going to make it? No. Number two, can he make it just until election and then switch him out for Kamala? Maybe. Is that going to work? Is he going to win now? according to the poll, according to what everybody says before the debate, and I know what you're thinking. Friends, you're thinking, why was this debate so important? I don't know. Did they not see all of these? No. Did they not see him walking around and they just... Remember how they thought that George Bush was stupid? Remember he went to one door, he tried to open a door, he didn't know what it was. They made so much out of it. They were talking about Trump one time. He was holding a glass of water. They thought he was demented. He had Alzheimer's. Remember this? These same people. Now, number two, this is the best one. Everybody, I think, is saying we got to put Kamala in there. We just have to. No, you don't. Oh, yes, we do. No, you don't. The only reason you want to put this dingbat in there is because of the fact of the money. If it's Biden Harris, I don't know what the rules are. That's the only reason. They want to get rid of her so fast. Now, that's here at the local level. At the level of the shadow government, people who run the show, they're telling you, I don't care who runs. I don't care who. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter. She's in, you're out. We don't care about this. Just like, you know how you don't worry about British elections or French elections? That's the way they feel. They make money no matter what. They look at the world, and one chaos is it's never free from chaos. And whatever the chaos, they make money. They don't really care. Plus, they like seeing the world in complete and total cacophony. Cacophonous craziness. By the way, heads up, I have my Thursday conference. I have a kind of a Zoom conference, so I may just have the Thursdays, just let you know. But we'll see how long we can do that. Okay. You got it? Can Biden beat Trump? No. They're already telling you right now. This is before the debate. Can Kamala beat Trump? No. Can she get 270? No. Unless they legally cheat, unless they unleash an open, millions of new voters who've come over the border that nobody knew about, that nobody cared about. Maybe. That could very well be. We don't know. It's hard to say how that works. Completely hard to say, but we don't know. So that's where we are. Sparky says, it is said Joe took a lot of naps at Camp David. Even one 5-minute nap without his CPAP would have been 5 minutes with oxygen deprivation, making Joe extra zombified for the debate. Interesting. Now, CPAP, by the way, apnea, it's a very good point. And by the way, thank you, Sparky. This oxygen anoxia, hypoxia, certainly does not lend itself to clarity, I think. George Len says, we realize that Dems are in a bad way, but change may occur outside the normal circumstances. They could kick over the chessboard at the last minute. True, but good luck with this. I think they realize something, which is the most important. They realize something, which is the most important. And let me just say this again. They're going to lose this election. So let me just stop, however you say this. Unless they steal it legally and unleash and saturate the political platform with new people, new voters, new migrants, they're going to win. Excuse me, the Republicans are going to win. You understand that, right? Look at all of it. There is no close. There's no 1 point behind. None of that stuff. It's ridiculous. And I'm not saying this because I don't like Kamala Harris, or I think, which I don't, or I think she's stupid, which she is, or a dingbat, which she is, a moron, which she is, can't put a sentence together, which she can't, this cachinnating, hebephrenic laughing. There's so much. I mean, she has hit dingbat status. She has cratered. If anybody really wants to talk about mental status, I think we should give her a once over just to make sure. But that's not it. Democrats are going to vote for a Democrat. They hate Trump. And they're also promoting this trope, as Jimmy notices. Thank you, Jimmy. As this trope that they have, this meme, that because of this immunity, Trump, they even had Kerry Washington. Who? Some actress. Who? Kerry Washington. She's weighing in. That's their big thing. These lefty entertainers, I guess their managers say, look, do me a favor. Yeah, we're going to have you send something. What is it? You're going to claim that Trump, by virtue of this new Supreme Court ruling, is now unfettered and able to do whatever he wants. And who? We're going to send it under your name. Don't ask any questions, Gary. Nobody cares. And nobody cares. We're just putting it out there. We're just putting it out there just because, well, whatever, because I'm your publicist, and Breitbart picked it up, and maybe, whatever, I don't know. We'll do something with the lefties because they got to do something. You think Kerry Washington understands the history of immunity? The same immunity that Joe Biden is going to be praying for. So we just don't listen to that. We don't pay attention. So what's happening? If you had to bet right now, right this minute, there's no way Joe Biden can do 125 days. He is going to step down. He is going to say, listen, this isn't about me. This isn't about my pride. For 50 years, I've devoted myself to the welfare and the commitment to this great country. And for 50 years, I have been a part of this. And for 50 years, I have been so determined to blah, blah, blah. And I always committed myself to the fact and always believed that if ever anything would prevent me from giving you 100% of me, I would do this. And right now, during this pivotal time, it is important that our party maintain a steadfast and focused and determined trajectory. And therefore, reluctantly, I will be stepping down either now, whatever. He can't wait 125 days. And stop this BS about, well, let's see how he does with George Stephanopoulos. Whenever you're at your worst, you go on to George Stephanopoulos for some prepared, edited speech that's going to be done, who knows, maybe between naps. It doesn't make any difference. The Democrats will say it will. They'll say, wow, he acquitted himself. That was terrific. He really did have a bad night. He really did have a cold. He really did have jet lag. 12 days after the fact. And they're going to repeat the trope, and you're going to go crazy, and Steve Ducey's going to say, well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. But he can't do it. He will step down. And he will say, this isn't about politics. I'm doing this because I'm that great of a guy. I'm a hero. I'm Joe Biden. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. You got that? Okay. Now, Kamala Harris right now is thinking to herself, wait a minute, what? Anybody think Kamala Harris wants to do this? Is there anybody here who thinks that Kamala Harris wants to be president of the United States? Anybody? Does anybody really think that? No. She has loved it. She lives at the Naval Observatory with the first dude or whatever his name is. She gets on the phone. She laughs. She doesn't want to do this. Do you know what this is? Kamala Harris? You think she wants to sit across from Xi Jinping? You think, can you imagine what Bibi's going to do to her? Sparko, can you imagine if Bibi Netanyahu is pushing Biden around? Can you imagine what he's going to do to Kamala? Are you kidding? Sparky says, when Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi find out President Kamala is a woman of easy virtue, like a biker gang, I'll let people read this. That is, I think you're speaking figuratively and not out of any attempt. And it's a wonderful point. I don't want to offend any algorithms. I will let people read that one. But believe me, they know all about her. They've got dossiers on everybody. They know her whole story. The question is, does anybody really think she wants to be president? Because if you don't want to be president, you're wasting your time. It shows. How many of you think, seriously, she might be saying to herself, no, wait, this isn't part of the deal. No, I said I'd run. I mean, I ran, but I didn't, I didn't think I'd win. I don't want this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to do this. No, it's not, it's not in my thing. No. But either way, she's not going to win. She's not. She doesn't have the votes. If Biden's not going to win, she's not going to win. And let me tell you right now, if they do, however they do this, either she comes in, believe it or not, I know people are missing this. If Gavin Newsom were to debate Trump, that would be something to watch. Gavin Newsom, of course, has the morals of an alley cat, of a three-peckered goat. Aside from that, now Americans are into the debate. Now we're focused on what the debate is. Now we're going to watch debates like we've never watched them. Don't ask me why. It's our new pastime now. It's our new pastime. And we're going to be watching Kamala melt down in front of Trump. How he says Biden's look and speeches 4 years apart, the contract is frightening. Oh, it's incredible. Georgie Len says they'll offer her the ambassadorship to Haiti. Well, I've heard, believe it or not, a university president, Eisenhower was a president of Columbia, if I recall correctly. I know you're going to laugh. She doesn't want any. She wants to. She's like Michelle Obama, who wants to be the star, wants to be Oprah, wants to be your girlfriend, wants to be loved. You know what I mean? That's her thing. She doesn't want this. And it will show. Just wait until this one. Now, let me tell you something. Biden at least knew something. At one point, he knew he could talk to you about certain things. He knew 50 years and a vice president, you pick up stuff. She doesn't know anything. She has no memory to refer to. When she starts winging it and starts talking about the community bank as a community of the community and the community, and we're all a part of the community and we're in the community, once she starts that nonsense, it's over. I mean, it is done. And she's thinking, I can't do that. Alexander says, happy 4th, Trump 2024. Indeed. Remember, this is our Independence Day. Our good friend Soul, hang on a minute. Soul 76 Cam says, reporter, how is it possible that Joe Biden would suffer from jet lag 2 weeks after he got back from his trip? Karine Jean-Pierre, it's the jet lag and also the cold, right? I love KGP. I love her. I think she's the most exciting liar I have ever heard. She is so good, so great, so wonderful at prevarication, subterfuge, distortion. She is one of the best. She's Joey Suzu meets what's that guy? John Lovitz. What's his name? Lenny. We go, yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. That's it. Christian Jana says, given that the vice president is the president of the Senate, and with her Senate experience, she can say her best service would be to remain in her current job and let a heavyweight take the lead, maybe. You know, Christian, you're onto something right there. By the way, Christian using a monetary unit unknown to most people. It's a Filipino Krugerrand. That's what most people don't know. Thank you for that. You've heard of crypto. This is lepto. Anyway, that's a good one. That's a nice one of saying, you know what? I'm doing fine right now. I think I got this vice president. Why don't you? Remember, this is moot. She's not going to win. Biden's not going to win. She's not going to win. It's over with. The only way that Trump loses is if they steal it legally. If they steal it, and Fox isn't talking about it, Newsmax isn't, nobody, isn't that something? Nobody's talking about it. But what's happening right now is listening. The world is changing. Biden is going to be the end of an era. Biden is that watershed moment. Biden is that Bezor, that kidney stone that passed. Let me make sure I do something before I get my call, because they call me these conference calls earlier and earlier. George Lenz, Raul Rodriguez, Sparky, Sparko, you have been Doog. Damn Doog today. I mean that sincerely. John McGuire couldn't get higher. Raul Rodriguez, Timothy 1, Von, Howie Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Judas Goat Barbecue, Christian Janis, Jimmy, he goes by the name Jimmy, Alexander Felke, or Felk, Soul 76. Thank you. And good. I want to make sure I got that out of the way, because your kindness is immense. So anyway, the good news is, make sure a couple of things. Make sure you always remain subscribed. I know this, I keep saying this, but people are finding themselves unsubscribed for reasons I do not know. Next, Mrs. L's YouTube channel, Lynn's Warriors, is unbelievable. Wait till you hear what she tells you about what they're finding on OnlyFans. Wait until the story about baby farms. You cannot believe what is going on regarding predation, human trafficking, and the like. This is the focused Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. She's just incredible. So make sure you do us and you a favor, because we've got to get that word out. By the way, you're not going to have anything done. If there's one thing that the Biden administration basically said, aside from being a blank check to Israel, blank check to NATO, and a blank check to big tech, even going along with trying to tank TikTok in order to thank Zuckerberg, who, by the way, is a proxy, is an apparatchik for the deep state. You know that, because we want to keep our guys big. They don't do anything. These are the same people who, by the way, right now, all of a sudden are trying to change the rules regarding Title IX stuff, puberty blockers, genital reassignment, mutilation, and the like. I never thought I'd ever be thinking that genital mutilation would be an issue. Sparky says, I actually got Lionel to audibly laugh with my crack about Kamala. Makes my day. Oh, absolutely. You are a wit, sir. You are the Durwood Kirby of this. And I mean that with all due respect. And Kamala, she's to me vile. Out of all the incredibly smart women, black, white, Polynesian, I don't know, they got this dingbat of all the people, a woman of compromised morals and background, Willie Brown's girl, Montel's girl. Please, how she turned her back, interesting pun there, turned her back on the African-American community by going after harder drug laws. She's bought and sold. She has no soul. She's a puppet. And that's exactly why they like her. She will do what they say. And because she's a black woman, or whatever she is, Asian, or I don't know, whatever she is, who knows? You'll just, well, they expect you to back up and say, oh no, we can't say anything. Wow, she's black. What difference does that make? Well, we can't say anything. Who said you can't say anything? Well, we can't. You can't say anything. What are you talking about? Well, we can't say anything because that is over with, by the way. That is absolutely mythical, this third rail protection. So bottom line is simply this. It's Trump 2024. That's it. We've been through the scenarios. This is going to be interesting to see what happens in the Democratic Party. Watch what happens with the UK elections. Watch what happens in France. Watch what happens in Nigel Farage. Watch what happens to this new, quote, alt-right or extreme right or whatever this particular thing is called, because the world is changing drastically. The world is changing drastically. I can't say this enough. Prior to this event, prior to Biden, we were on a collision course. We were headed straight to hell in a handbasket. I mean, it wasn't even funny. And then, as though, and I keep saying this, and I don't say this disrespectfully, as though God spoke, someone said, I'm going to change this now. He parted the waters. he gave us this debate. A debate which we thought, well, he's always been like that. For some reason that we will never understand, this debate hit home. Why? I have no idea. None. No idea why. It's like, why a fad? Where do fads and trends come from? I don't know. How come overnight people disfigured themselves with tattoos, all their dermal landscape, their real estate? Why? Who did that? What was the reason for that? Overnight. There was a little tramp stamp here, a little butterfly here. So what? Your grandpa had, but then all of a sudden it became just whoever can destroy themselves. How did that happen? We don't know. It's crowd theory. It's murmurations. It's all of these incredibly fascinating movements and the like. Anyway, dear friends, I love you. Happy 4th of July. This is America's 248th birthday. It is wonderful. God bless America. Thank you. It's Independence Day. Remember, and one more thing, as we always say, this is it. This is the one I say. This is the one. Trump right now. This is my favorite. Got to keep the hair because I got to do my thing. The rules have changed. This is my favorite. The rules have changed. It's all over. It's all different. Everything is different. It's different. All right, dear friends. One more time. Follow Mrs. L right here. Lynn's Warriors. You have a great and a glorious day. See you tonight at 7 because we're going to be watching our fireworks from home for the first time in how many years? 10 years they haven't had the fireworks in the Hudson. 10 years. Tonight is a different story. All right, dear friends, we love you. Have a great day. God bless America. Right arm. I mean that sincerely. We'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. and have a wonderful day. And don't forget these words, this final valedictory. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.